Good evening, everybody. Today, I wanted to come in and talk about my podcast I'll be launching this week called Authentic Entrepreneurs, Real Talk, Real Entrepreneurs, Real Conversations. For this first episode, I wanted this to be voice only, so we could just be real without the pressure of being seen. Um, my name is Michelle Paczesny. I'm an international best-selling author. I'm a business strategist and summit speaker. I host virtual summits. I work with entrepreneurs who are building meaningful businesses and want to grow without losing themselves in the process. And this is Authentic Entrepreneurs. So, about a year ago, I came up with this idea. I knew I wanted to create a podcast. Um, I didn't know exactly how I was going to create it or what it was exactly going to be about, but I knew I didn't want to do it as a brand move, not as a strategy, but as a response to something I kept seeing and I was feeling. I wanted a safe place. I wanted a space where entrepreneurs and we could just be our real selves. A space where we didn't have to perform, pretend, or have it all figured out before we were allowed to speak. And maybe you felt that way. If you've ever felt like you had to hold it all together while you're building your business, or if you ever felt successful on the outside, but unseen on the inside. And if you ever wondered, am I the only one feeling this way? I want to let you know that you're not. And that's why I created this space for you. I want to welcome you to Authentic Entrepreneurs, um, and let you know what Authentic Entrepreneurs is not. This isn't going to be about a podcast about pretending you have it all figured out. It's not just a highlight, like a highlight reel. And it's not a space where you have to prove, polish, or protect your story. It's real talk, real people. We're having real conversations in real time, and that's why I came up with that name, Authentic Entrepreneurs, real talk, real entrepreneurs, real conversations. I created this for the builders, the visionaries, the men and women that are creating something meaningful, often while caring far more than other people see. Because entrepreneurship can be lonely, even when things are working, and even when you're visible, even when people assume you've made it. And the truth is, you don't have to do this journey alone. And I want everybody to know that Authentic Entrepreneurs podcast is a safe place. A safe place where your voice matters. A safe place where your story matters. And you can tell your story. A safe place where being seen matters. Not just for you for your business, but for you as a human being. And we're going to be talking about things people don't always talk about in their business. We'll be doing episodes about the doubt behind the confidence, the pressures to always be on, the pivots that no one sees, the seasons of burnout, reinvention, and growth, um, how we evolve during our journey. And then we're going to talk about times where everything's questioned, but we keep going anyway, because those moments matter too. So, on this podcast, you're going to hear a mix of conversations. Some weeks it's going to be just me doing solo episodes where we're going to talk honestly about business, leadership, growth, identity, and what it takes to build something aligned. And then there'll be other weeks where I'll be joined by guest entrepreneurs who are real people sharing their stories, their real stories. They're not polished brands, they're not just perfect paths, but they're honest journeys. Entrepreneurs who are willing to share what worked, what didn't work, and what they've learned along the way. We're going to cover many topics here, some comfortable and some uncomfortable. And sometimes it's just going to be stuff that don't get talked about nearly enough. Because growth doesn't happen in silence, and authenticity creates connection. And I believe in this very deeply. When entrepreneurs are seen, they rise differently. When stories are shared, others feel less alone. And when we stop pretending, we create businesses and lives that actually last. And the reason this podcast exists is because your voice matters. Not just when you arrived, not just when everything looks perfect, but right now, exactly where you are. For me, Authentic Entrepreneurs isn't just a podcast, it's a community. It's a place where conversations don't end when the episode does. It's a place where connection matters more than competition. It's a place where you don't have to do this all alone. And if you're looking for a space that feels real, welcome home. If this resonates with you, subscribe to my channel. Share this episode with another entrepreneur who needs to hear it. And if you feel called, you're invited to be a part of these conversations. And just know that this is the beginning. It's just the beginning. And I want to welcome you to Authentic Entrepreneurs. And if you'd like to be a part of these conversations, you can find me on Facebook. You can also DM me, all small, momcoach22 @gmail.com. See you on the next episode of Authentic Entrepreneurs.